the market for diamonds before they created
now
it too.
we have an internet, and we got kids that don't want to leave their house. They want to sit there with their little controller in their hand, or their phone in their hand, or their tablet in their hand. How do you utilize that tool to get kids interested in music once again? Speaking of new platforms, I don't think anybody's done it maybe successfully as they need to. You know, I mean, what are you? What are your thoughts on the future of music and making a living at this, if that's what you if that's what you so desire?
Well,
is there a way to use that platform, or?
I believe so. I mean, I've really slacked on it, but I'm well aware that we should, you know, I feel like you should have a page on every single.
I mean, that's what we're doing. I mean, with the radio
Yeah,
station, we're trying to get more involved in that social media aspect of things, and maybe live there a little bit. Maybe get yourself a little closer to their thumb tips.
Yeah.
I think as far as utilizing that faucet, it's definitely a lot more challenging in this day and age because there's so much competition.
Saturation.
I mean, it's
huge.
Saturation. There's artists everywhere. I mean, everyone is bringing something
Well,
to the
I mean,
table.
we deal with the same thing with internet radio. The thing is we still have the Federal Communications Commission, which gives us some legitimacy, I guess, in people's mind. Where do you find legitimacy in that internet amongst that sea of other bands, I guess? Because that's, I think, where bands maybe are lacking, just, you know. I don't know. It's a mystery. Nobody's been able to solve it yet. Record companies are sitting there on piles and piles of money. They won't give it to anybody because they can't make it back.
Yeah.
So, and them gentlemen have just as much money as they had 20, 30 years ago. It's just not getting spread around. It's kind of reverting back to the mom and pop, you know, independent labels, you know, Sun Record days, you know. So, I don't know. It's one of the themes that we're kind of visiting with all the bands that come through. Just the future of this industry that we're in.
Yeah.
You know, am I going to have songs to play in 10 years?
I'm not so sure where it's going to go. I'm
you know,
kind of worried about it.
I'm not,
you know,
I'm not sure where it's going to go either. As far as you know, being able to make it to the people.
Mm-hmm.
The more you put out, the more that's going to get seen, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. So you have to do the groundwork. I mean, and as far as groundwork, I mean, I don't just mean putting everything on the internet.
Yeah.
Because that's easy to do.
It's
I mean,
easy
you can put stuff on the internet all day long on every website, on Facebook. You can share it. You can boost your post. You can pay for advertisement. But it's really all about who you talk to and where you go and how you spread the word and how you present yourself to people. Because people aren't only going to judge you by the music you make, they're going to judge you by who you are and your personality when you talk to them. Mm-hmm. And so actually going out and talking to people, getting to know people, and just being a good person in general, just having a good influence on the public, that'll get you out there.
Yeah, like if you're like really like, say, I don't know, like if you're a really crappy band, like you guys just aren't good, but like you're like good people, and like people like you, like people will still come to your shows. You know, like you can be in one of the best bands ever, but if you're a fucking asshole, like people are gonna be like, fuck that guy, I don't want to go to his show. You know?
Exactly.
I would say, like, this is a small enough city where, like, live performances around here are going to get noticed if they're decent. I mean, you know, if we're in LA or something, probably have to do tie-ins where, you know, when they have a new movie come out, they'll put games and stuff to try and get people involved, like all those little tricks as far as marketing. But around here, say word of mouth's good enough to get things started and rolling, and then if you want to expand outside that, you know, as far as just digitally, then you have to come up with some trickier things, especially when, you know, you're not playing shows like in California or anything. But I mean, it's going to be, word of mouth is still pretty powerful in this day and age, you know, even with technology.
And talent, you know, being good and, you know, putting together a good product, and I haven't been disappointed yet. So I think this scene that we're in, I mean, I really can't point out anybody that I just am, you know, unenthused with or disgusted by. I think we got so much talent right now, and so many different types. There was a time when it was just really heavy, and it was just really flame throwing. And now we've got, you know, I mean, We Three Bears, we've got some folk in there, we got some folk punk in there, we got some rap in there, we've got, you know, the acoustic, I mean, you know, it's just incredible. You know, I've only been plugged back in for about, I don't know, 9 or 10 months. I've been able to get back out and really enjoy, you know, some of the nightlife and some of the live performances. And you guys have to be excited just to be part of the whole thing and to be, you know, taking part in it. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely are. I know I am.
I see most of you out all the time, you know. hanging out and supporting everybody else out too. So I think that's important as well.
That is.
That
That
is
is.
very important.
You can't just be a band and only play your shows and go to
Yeah,
your shows.
exactly.
I mean, if you're not out there supporting the cause, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You know.
And it is a competition, obviously. There's sometimes double bookings. There's a show down the street, and there's a show, and but at the same time, we're all
doing it for the same reason.
we all
love
just love music.
Exactly.
Just all work together.
And I know some of the shows I've gone to, it'll be like you're saying, We Three Bears, then like Dead Noise,
Yeah.
and then together, and it's such an
Yeah.
eclectic mixture.
And then you
of
throw in
bands.
Magic
I've
City
seen
Music
that.
Group,
Yeah.
and then Endeavor's headline. You're like,
Yeah.
You'll have
Right.
rap, folk,
I don't even know
and
what
metal on the
T-shirt
same
to wear.
show.
Come on, no,
Yeah.
I'll wear a Kiss shirt, I'm sure. But it's easy. My closet, I have one band. So,
And
But,
not only is it like a good metal scene, but it's all the scenes together in this town are kind of commingling. I think that's cool. It's not just the metal scene, just the folk scene.
I think we might be a little lacking too in the underage
Yeah.
venue. We do have some great new venues downtown, and places for people to expose themselves. But I think one of the things that I enjoyed when I was a kid is we had a lot of all ages shows.
Yeah.
And those crowds were a little bigger, I think, because the 14, the 15, and 16-year-olds could get out on a Friday night, and their parents, didn't worry about whether they're wandering the streets. They knew where they were. Drop them off at a show. There's security.
Like a
And
perk.
I think and a lot of the thing is overhead with insurance. You got to provide an insurance policy for those people to be there underage, and it's more expensive. It's just that kind of money just isn't being generated quite yet.
Yeah, and I haven't been able to have my cousin come to a show. I think your sister, is she still not bar going age? Casey?
Yeah, she's only 19.
Yeah, my cousin, your sister, there's like some family members you can't go to shows, But
Yeah, I have quite a few. Like my sister, her friends would come, and she's like really awesome with the whole spreading the word and socializing a lot. She could bring
Well,
so many
like
people,
also,
but they're all her age.
like everyone too at the venue has to be on board with it.
Yeah.
Because there's like times where the bouncers are like, I'm not gonna babysit, you know what I mean? Like kids will like go out and go drink or something, come back in, then that's like a liability. But it's like if everyone's all on the same page and watching and making sure, then nothing would happen. It's like everyone just needs to pay attention and work together, and we could have all age shows.
Get fake IDs.
Yeah.
Fake IDs.
Fake IDs.
I don't know. I've been growing a beard since I was like 13 years old. So
I did, and then I had to shave mine off because now it's gray,
yeah.
and it's like a wizard's beard, but my hair hasn't caught up. So when my hair turns white, then I can grow the beard back, and I'll just be a wizard. But until then, I'm not gonna dye it. I'm not gonna put shoe polish on my face. So I just shaved it off finally.
What are you gonna do when you retire? Oh, I'm gonna be a wizard.
Sitting around in flowing robes and a little pointy hat and smoking things out of a pipe.
Speaking of the all ages thing, me and a couple friends have been sitting around talking, and we're trying to put together a plan, and we're in the near future thinking about opening up even maybe a 24-hour all ages venue, which is going to be like a type of coffee shop. I don't know if you remember when 1111 was around.
Yeah. Back in the day on
that cafe.
Right.
Yeah.
Off Broadway.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, because they always had all ages.
Yeah, there was a
shows.
couple when I was a kid. There was one that was over by the gym over there that was upstairs and had some pool tables and stuff you could hang out.
Yeah. Breakers?
Yeah,
See
something like
if
that.
the other band is-
And there was also one on Grand or Broadway too that we could go and hang out at.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
We have nothing now.
Well, that's because kids don't leave the house. They're sitting in the Xbox and they're zoned in, man. They don't got no place to go.
Yeah.
Sure they don't.
Yeah, I grew up with Art Space. I remember we used to go there all the time. It was nice.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to cover? Any shout outs you need to thank anybody? Anybody got a speech to, nothing like that? Or
I'll give a shout out to my husband Joe Castro because he's dealt with this. Me trying to be a musician and trying to have a band, and he's very
Oh,
supportive.
you are a musician and you do have a band.
And
So-
I know, but he's really been supportive of it though. It hasn't been an easy
He's
road.
fantastic.
We were very young parents, so it's been a hard road, but he's been at my side the whole time through all of it. So I just want to make a shout out to him because he's kind of a badass. And also, he's recorded our very first recording, Coward, which is kind of cool, in the garage. So he gave us his time for that, so I'd like to say thanks for that too. And he taught me how to use our recording equipment, so now I'm recording my own shit, and it's awesome.
Nice.
It's fun. I haven't put anything out yet. I'm working on it. I'm working on some stuff.
And is he a good teacher?
Yeah.
Because every time I try to teach anybody, they just end up going, "You're an asshole." Because I don't ever, I'm always like on my speed, and I don't realize that I'm teaching somebody. Yeah, but I have a hard time. I couldn't have been a teacher.
I couldn't either. I'm a horrible teacher.
I'd have beat the hell out of them kids.
Right?
But cool.
Well, I guess I'm good. Just want to get that out there.
Nice. You guys need to say thanks to, well, obviously the bass player. Thanks to him for playing bass.
Yeah, Jeff.
We can shout out to him.
Thanks for being a butthead, Jeff. But we still love you anyway. Keep playing with us.
Cool. So we're looking forward to more recordings and more good things in the future.
Oh yeah, we're planning on. We're definitely planning on recording right now. We have a bunch of shows coming up in June, so we're kind of more focused on practicing. But hopefully it'll kind of slow down a little bit, and we should take time. We're going to take time to get recordings up. So
nice.
It'll take a while, though. I mean, it took a while for the one recording, but it's worth it. So
hey, it's rock and roll.
It's worth it.